Alright, I got one more video. It's the problem with Soullikes. The problem with Soullikes. Thinking it's gonna be a good video, actually. Wow, I'm gonna superstar. Wait, Stinky, what? What, Stinky, what? What is it? I demand high energy. What are you, my fucking manager? Alright, high energy. Pillar. Did he pre-pot? I wonder. I was about to say, is that game journalist video where the guy can't get past the tutorial, or it takes him like 30 minutes or some shit?
Software's Dark Souls needs no introduction. Recently crowned the ultimate game of all time,
pierce him in the
series
dick.
is praised for its intricate level design, satisfying combat, and captivating world. But you're probably most familiar with Dark Souls for its notorious difficulty.
Look! It's out there!
Uh-oh. Oh no, the cat! Hold on, I'm gonna make myself smaller. There. No, can you see the cat? Oh my god, look at him. He's about to get scared. The cat is horrified. What the fuck? Oh, it's Korean! He's out of there.
In fact, these games are so hard that every single challenging game that came after is actually paying homage to Dark Souls, the first hard game. See, we all know that the very concept of difficulty didn't exist before Hidetaka Miyazaki invented it in 2009 with the release of Demon Souls. Before that, video games were all just brain dead easy. I mean, look at this.
True.
They basically play
very
themselves.
easy.
But
Not
then,
hard at all.
in comes Demon Souls.
Oh. I'm pretty sure I remember playing Contra with a friend of mine at their house or something like that. No, maybe it wasn't Contra, but it was something to that effect. And those games were fucking hard.
Then, 2 years later, Miyazaki shits out another hood classic, and game developers went wild. Bonfires, stamina bars, bloodstains, Estus flasks. If it was featured in Dark Souls, then it would also be featured in the next 100 games that you played. But we needed a name for these games, these
Demon Souls
copycats that were like Souls. Soulslikes. Medieval fantasy setting. Soulslike. Invincibility frame. Soulslike.
Wait, he's being sarcastic, right? This is like a parody, right? He's being like, it's a joke. I hope I'm not like misconstruing it. I can't tell anymore. I hope so. I think he is. Yeah, I think he's making the butt of the joke of this.
Like difficulty. Souls-like. Constipation. Souls-like.
Okay, you got me. Constipation. Ah! Miyazaki invented constipation in 1982.
Like wife cheated on you. Souls-like.
No!
Wait. What's that?
Facetious, yes.
You live in an abusive household? Souls-like parenting. Now, of course I'm being facetious, but there really seems to be a bit of a naming crisis surrounding games that share even the slightest bit in common with Dark Souls. There's just this obsession with labeling everything that's even remotely similar as being derivative. Even among From Software's other IPs, they just can't escape those same shackles.
Monkey.
I mean, first it was just Demon Souls, and then it was the Souls games. After that, it was Soulsborne, and after that, it's Soulsborne Key.
Soulsborne. This game looks incredible, like an open world adventure crossed with the highest evolution of Soulsborne Kiro. What? Who wrote this? Bye, Fusion.
This is a thing that you wrote.
Wait, let me read.
So
you wrote this. This
There's
is
more. I think if you just said Soulsborne, everyone would know what you meant. The prominent from the games. Soulsborne Kino will never be a thing like Soulsborne. Shame on you. Go sit in the corner. Think about what you did. What is wrong with these people? Sounds like an edgy username. It is, but like, I don't understand.
the thing that you wrote.
look, it's undeniable that Dark Souls is one of the most influential games of our time. The current gaming landscape would look
This is a
incredibly
speedrun,
different
huh?
without it, and several games genuinely are just carbon copies. But a handful of problems arise when taking one major title and turning it into an entire genre. Take roguelike, a genre named after the 1980 dungeon crawler Rogue. Unlike Dark
Yo, actually. Yeah, I remember reading about this. Roguelike. Alana's YouTube comments is the cesspool? No, it's not. Actually, people are really nice in my comment section.
Souls, however, Rogue didn't spawn an entire series and was released over 40 years ago. So today it's
Wow.
not surprising when Rogue isn't the first game that comes to mind when you hear the word roguelike. That game could be faster than light, Slay the Spire, or for some people, even Hades. For me, the game that I think of when I hear roguelike is Binding of Isaac.
Not a roguelike? It's not?
So
But
I've
I
just
thought
been
it is. I thought it is, though. Huh?
informed that Binding of Isaac is in fact not a roguelike, but a roguelite. Initially called
Roguelites.
roguelites are roguelikes that are like Rogue, but not
Roguelikes are like rogues, but they're roguelite and they're light rogues. He's making fun of it. I like this guy.
as like Rogue, as roguelikes. When you're categorizing a game based on what it derives from, is derived from, the label starts to lose all meaning. Roguelite is a genre born from games being too different from the original title to be called roguelikes. So why even keep rogue in the name? This
Yeah.
kind of naming convention stifles creativity by suggesting that games should stick as close to the original as possible.
See, that's like the bad thing about innovation nowadays. People always like say, "Oh yeah, we need to make it like this game." Why can't you just make something original? Like Dota came out of a fucking Warcraft 3 mod, and then it evolved into League of Legends, Dota, HOTS, you know? Be innovative.
And for every box on the checklist that a game doesn't tick, we'll just add another like at the end of the category. All games are derivative to some extent. There's no modern game that doesn't borrow anything from its predecessors, even Dark Souls. From Software didn't invent the stamina bar or parrying, and corpse running has been a staple of MMOs long before Dark Souls was even a concept swimming around in Miyazaki's nutsack.
It's so vulgar.
Art inspires and genres overlap. It's the same with any medium of entertainment. While there are definitely landmark films, none of them have had their titles baked into their respective genres. That's not to say that they've never been copied, but after the wave of clones came innovation. Imagine if every movie with a ton of gore and a crash zoom was called a Tarantino-like, or
That would be really stupid.
look at hip-hop. I mean, half of all rappers would be called Tupac-likes. It's exactly this
Yeah, it's
phenomenon
stupid.
of derivative content mixing and borrowing from previous media that leads to imaginative ideas. Metroidvania is a portmanteau of Metroid and Castlevania, and is used to describe games that borrow from both series. Or so the Wikipedia definition says. In actuality, it's used to refer to any game with a sprawling world that has certain areas gated behind abilities, upgrades, and items, like Super Metroid. The
Aw, I never thought about it that way. I only played one Metroid game when I was a little kid.
term came into use after
didn't
the release
realize.
of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which featured a lot of these Metroid-like elements. Similarly, the game devs
2D
behind
maps
the
with built-in
quote-unquote
progression. Yeah.
Souls-like Metroidvania,
Soulslike.
had little to no experience with Dark Souls before making the game. And although they were inspired by Metroid, creating a Metroidvania wasn't something that they set out to do. Their inspiration came from various different games, but instead of trying to emulate anyone in particular, they focused on trying to make a good-ass game. And spoiler alert, they made a good-ass game. When developers stick firmly to a blueprint, they're designing backwards, creating a game that conforms to established game mechanics rather than designing elements that'll best complement their game. Gris is a game that was originally intended to be a Metroidvania, but the creators wanted it to be accessible to people even if they've never played a video game, so they opted for a more linear approach. Linear is the antithesis of a Metroidvania. The devs would have to reimagine the formula in order to realize the vision they had for their game, and they did a damn good job.
Wow. Maybe this game is more my speed than bashing my head into Hollow Knight. It looks really pretty.
Gris has 5 levels representing each stage of grief. You progress linearly through them, acquiring a new ability in each one. The game features no combat and little exploration. The abilities are largely used for platforming and puzzle challenges. Each level is designed around just the abilities that you have at the time, so there's no backtracking. With progression to each new level, you restore color to a beautiful watercolor-painted world until you're at the last stage and finally overcome your grief. Gris borrows Metroidvania elements and uses them to tell a powerful story through little more than its gameplay. Rather than force unnecessary mechanics to fill a checklist, Gris takes only what it needs from the genre and still manages to capture the essence of having a protagonist that evolves over time and grows to interact with the world in different ways. And that is what's at the core of any genre. Just a few unchangeable factors that really capture the heart of what unifies those group of games. So,
when was the last time they made games like these, man? So rare!
Mark Brown of Game Maker's Toolkit made an excellent video in 2017 on the topic. He suggests that the genre should be based around the elements that give Dark Souls its slow, deliberate combat, but even From Software's other IPs don't...
I think I had a lot of trouble getting into Elden Ring because I thought it would be more like BDO. And I kind of like the fast-paced combat. Like, there's still blocking and, like, parrying and shit kind of in BDO, but I had a lot of trouble learning that I have to play the game kind of slowly. I don't know.
entirely adhere to those elements. Bloodborne has faster, more aggressive combat. And this is even more true after Sekiro's release in 2019, which got rid of the stamina bar entirely. I would argue that the element that ties these games together is not their combat, but their core gameplay loop, the cycle of encountering a challenging obstacle, dying, and throwing yourself at it again and again, armed with nothing more than your knowledge of previous attempts. No Estus Flask, stamina bar, or dodge roll necessary. That core gameplay is what makes these games so engaging and really makes you feel like you have the exaggerated swagger of a medieval fantasy protagonist.
Let's go!
We'd also have to rename the genre and ditch the whole trend of just adding like at the end of a title. Games have already evolved past just being Soulslikes, and it's time that the language we use to refer to them does the same.
Is Cuphead considered a soul-like? Like, for real, is that what people call it?
Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you for listening to me talk my shit. This is just a topic that really grinds my gears, really rustles my jimmies, if you will, so I just figured I'd make a video about it.
Good video,
but, yeah, tell me what you guys think. If you like the video, it helps the video get seen. If you dislike the video, then...
I think people do more so for the challenging part, so aka people being dumb. Or people not looking ahead and learning the fights before they launch the game also, like...
leave a comment, because that also helps it get seen. Send this to that one friend who won't shut the hell up about Dark Souls, and subscribe to see more videos like this. I'm just starting out, but I have a ton of ideas lined up for future videos, not just on games, but like movies, anime, shit like that. And that
movies and anime, I fucking love that. Watch this guy. How many more videos does he have, I wonder? Excuse me. Remember when Pokemon games were actually good? Oh no, we'll save this one for later. How about that? He's got some good ones. What's the right way to play Souls? Elden Ring review, but I'm a video game journalist. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is good little essaying. I'm Psycho PFP, yeah. I'm Shiku. I love his titles. Yeah, I like this. I like this one, but I'm a video game journalist. It's like, no, this game is too stinky. Why live action anime will never work? There's a lot of reasons why it never works. Save these. I'm saving these for later. The one mob romance scene makes me cry every time. No! The fuck did ER do to me 100%ed? I don't think it's super hard to 100% Elden Ring. I don't think. It's not like it has endless achievements.